Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's 6 p.m. here in Cairo. Time to have a look on the latest news from Channel 2. I'm Abin Mitwali. President Abdel Sisi holds separate meetings with Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Karachi and IAEA Chief Rafael Grossi. And Foreign Minister Abdel Ati holds separate press conferences with Karachi and Grossi. And United Nations chiefs call for a probe after 34 people were killed near a JFH-run aid site in Gaza. Welcome back. The news in detail. President Abdel Sisi gave directives that upgrade work of public business sectors companies is continued in order to enhance their performance and management and increase their assets revenues. This came at the meeting with the President held with Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, Deputy Prime Minister for Industrial Development, Minister of Industry and Transport Kamil Al-Wazir, in addition to Ministers of Finance, Planning, Economic Development and International Cooperation, Public Business Sector and Investment and Foreign Trade. The meeting probed progress made in implementing Public Business Sector Ministry's Strategy 2024-2027. The President said the upgrade should be enhanced with partnership with the private sector and in line with technological advances, with focus on setting definite targets for each individual public business sector company. Egypt and Iran asserted the importance of continuing the current path for exploring prospects for a mutual upgrading of their ties. This came at a meeting President Abdel Sisi held on Monday with visiting Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi in Cairo. The meeting was attended by Minister of Foreign Affairs, Migration and Egyptian expats Badr Abdel Ati and General Intelligence Chief Lieutenant General Hassan Rashad. The Iranian minister conveyed greetings from the Iranian President to President Abdel Sisi. The meeting also tackled unfolding regional developments. President Sisi reiterated the Egyptian position of rejecting any widening of conflicts and emphasizing the necessity of de-escalation to avoid a regional war that will have grave consequences on all region states as peoples. The president described ongoing negotiations between Iran and U.S. as important. The head of state also stressed the need for both an immediate ceasefire and unhindered aid entry in Gaza. President Abdel Sisi also said navigation in Bab el-Mandeb Strait and the Red Sea should be restored as normal. For his part, the Iranian top diplomat appreciated Egyptian role to resolve regional stability, asserting Iran's keen interest in holding consultations between both countries in the upcoming phase. And President Abdel Sisi held a meeting with International Atomic Energy Agency Chief Rafael Grossi on Monday. The president said Egypt has always been a forerunner in supporting disarmament and nuclear non-proliferation, adding that Egypt constantly calls for making the Middle East an area that is free from nuclear weapons. The president also said Egypt looks forward for a role by the agency on universal application of the Non-Proliferation Treaty. President Sisi also asserted that peaceful uses of atomic and nuclear power should be enhanced, raising ongoing efforts to enhance cooperation between Egypt and the agency. The meeting also reviewed Egyptian efforts to restore regional stability, with President Sisi emphasizing the need for a comprehensive approach to tackle all regional security concerns in order to guarantee stability and across the Middle East. For his part, the director of the IAEA praised historical and active Egyptian role in the field of disarmament. Minister of Foreign Affairs, Migration and Egyptian expats Badr Abdel Ati held talks with Iranian counterpart Abbas Araghchi in Cairo. Foreign Minister Abdel Ati also held a joint press conference with Araghchi. Addressing a press conference, Abdel Ati said they tackled bilateral ties that serve shared interests of both countries. Abdel Ati said that President Sisi's meeting with Iranian Foreign Minister tackled means of de-escalation. He said the talks tackled various regional files. On top of them, the Palestinian cause cause. He also stressed the necessity of rapid access of humanitarian aid into Gaza Strip. Foreign Minister Abdul Ati also stressed on the necessity of securing navigation in the Red Sea and said that Egypt is working with all international parties for the security of navigation in the Red Sea. For his part, Iranian Foreign Minister stressed that Iran and Egypt have important role in achieving peace and development in the region. Arachi said that both sides agreed on expanding trade exchange between Egypt and Iran. He added that they discussed all regional issues and confirmed our full support to the Palestinian rights. He also added that they discussed the situation in Yemen and navigation in the Red Sea. Arachi stressed that Tehran supports stability in the region and that its nuclear program is peaceful. Foreign Minister Badr Abdul Ati also held a separate meeting with IAEA Chief Rafael Grossi. Later, a joint press conference was held between Foreign Minister Abdul Ati and the IAEA Chief. Addressing the press conference, Abdul Ati stressed Egypt's appreciation to the IAEA's support to Egypt's peaceful nuclear program, especially in Tab'a nuclear project, which is a strategic cornerstone in Egypt's efforts to diversity sources of energy. He also stressed on positive cooperation with the IAEA, and Abdul Ati said that the talks tackled the Iranian nuclear file. He also said they also discussed the situation in Ukraine and guarantees for nuclear reactors. Abdul Ati stressed Egypt's readiness to offer support for Iran to reach agreement with the IAEA. He also added that the talks tackled using nuclear technology in sustainable development. For his part, IAEA chief said that Egypt is entering a new phase of developing a huge nuclear project in Al-Tab'a. Grossi added that the IAEA issued a full report on Iranian nuclear program. Sell-offs by local and Arab corporations against purchase by local Arab and foreign investors and foreign corporations. The market capital of listed companies lost 5 billion Egyptian pounds, crossing 2.2 trillion at the end of transactions. The benchmark index EGX 30 dipped to 0.5% above the 32,325 points mark. The equal weighted indices, the EGX 70 and 100, rose 0.2% and 0.1% respectively. And trading resumed on the Damascus Securities Exchange today after a 6-month closure as Syrian interim authorities attempt to shore up the country's battered economy. Syrian interim finance minister who attended the reopening said that the stock exchange will operate as a private company and serve as a genuine hub for Syria's economic development. He added that the country's interim authorities plan to facilitate business operations and open doors to promising investment opportunities. The move came after the United States and Europe last month announced the lifting of a wide raft of sanctions that had been slapped on ex-Syrian President Bashar al-Assad and officials in his government. Escalating Russia and Ukraine conflict over the weekend contributed to a broader market anxiety and a jump in oil prices. U.S. benchmark crude oil today gained 2.54 cents, more than 4% to $63.33 per barrel, while Brent crude, the international standard, was up 2.34 cents at $65.12 a barrel. In addition to Ukraine, the conflict oil prices and oil company stocks climbed after OPEC Plus decided on a more modest increase in output than was expected. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has greeted Pyramids over winning the CAF Champions League for the first time ever in their history. Via his social media account, President al-Sisi said that he was offering his sincere greetings to Pyramids and Egyptian sports fans on this historic achievement. The president noted that the victory embodies the spirit of determination and persistence that always featured the Egyptian sports and asserted the strong competitiveness of Egyptian clubs at the African and international arenas. The Arab state wished continued successes for the Egyptian football at all forums. Pyramids survived late pressure to beat Melody Sundowns of South Africa 2-1 in Cairo yesterday and win the CAF Champions League for the first time. The win led to Pyramids triumphing 3-2 after the first leg was down 1-0 in Pretoria last weekend. Pyramids also are the fourth Egyptian side to lift the Champions League trophy after record 12-time winners Al Ahly, Zamalek and Ismaili, while 2016 champion Sundowns, favourites for the title, have been chasing a second continental trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of our news bulletin today. Thanks for watching. I'm Mabir Mitwalli.